So I'm going to take a second and feel what the energies are for today's reading. This is going to be like a divine partnership reading, and I had someone ask me like what my videos were even about. But I guess there's a community of people doing divine partnership readings, and I would say like this is sort of in that same theme. And yeah, so that's why I talk about the masculine and the feminine energies and stuff like that. And there's also like little descriptions or advice that comes through that's helpful anyway, like even if you don't see yourself as being like half of a divine partnership. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the video. I try not to get into explaining myself too much and just getting down to the information that I channel in these videos. So I encourage people to research like on the web, like why people do readings like this. Because it would take an hour just to describe it. All right, just 1 second. Okay, I feel like a turn now where the masculine is like panicking and realizing like, oops, like I lost you, like I waited too long. And they're kind of like, wait a sec, like, you know, it's like a 5-year-old who like is pretending like they don't want that flavor ice cream. Like let's say they prefer vanilla, but you got like chocolate chip, and they're like, I don't like chocolate chip, I'm not having any. But then right when you're about to like have someone finish it, or I don't know, they're like, okay, wait a second, I do like ice cream. And their pride like has to take the back seat. And yeah, so I feel like they realized like they waited too long and potentially lost the feminine. So it's pretty heavy duty. So that being said, I'm gonna go into the reading. Yes, last night I lost my keys. It's like I never do stuff like that. Being a Virgo. So I gotta retrace my steps. From last night. Okay. Herkimer diamonds, nice. Dreams. I'm constantly manifesting my dreams into reality. So you can call upon the Herkimer diamonds to help you remember. I got my shoes here. Okay. Okay. That you're like a manifester and you're always like bringing your dreams into reality. Okay, like the Crystal Kingdom had enough focus to become this over a long period of time. Like they each crystal like has its vibration and makes its choice and draws its various molecules towards it, and then they resonate. That it's like a long-term dedicated resonance, and then they can lend you like certain qualities. So do your best to like try to, even if you don't have access to any crystals, just kind of space out and like picture like a ruby or an emerald just on its own, and just feel what it's communicating to you, or like in any aspect. It doesn't have to be like a verbal. Just get like become familiar with the sensation of connecting with various crystals, and then with time you'll like understand their language and purpose. So it's worthwhile. I'm a huge booster of space out time. I mean, it's what gave me the chance to like interact with these energies and be able to do readings or healing work. So not everything has to be logical and verbal. There's like a huge part of your life that is happening like when you're spacing out. And I don't mean like spacing out on substances or anything like that, like sober spacing out. All right. So I'm not laughing as much today. what's up with that? All right. So we got from my deck the house. Maybe because I feel like there's new audience members and I'm kind of like self-conscious or something. Okay. And we also got the lovers and a bunch of other cards. But I mean, when these two came out, I was like, what? You know, these guys can go home together. So like just what I was feeling at the beginning, like something's here now. Like there's real physical competition that like might even exclude completely the masculine, because like a worthwhile like soulmate or like divine partner, like because sometimes you can get like faked out by people and think they're your twin, but it's just hard lessons and stuff. And I'm just gonna like space out at this card for a second because I want to see if we're talking about the twin or a soulmate. I mean, when I look at the man on this card, I'll show you. He looks like super grounded, manifested, in his power, ready. You know, the energy I get like looking at him is like I feel like there's no better choice. And I feel like he's looking at the feminine like she's mysterious and, you know, she's fruitful. She has a lot of temptation around her. You know, he has on his side, I mean, I guess it looks like a maple tree from the leaves, but like I'm kind of wishing it was an oak tree. But anyhow, it's really hard to say what those leaves are because they're not like. Anyway, they could be maple. I don't know. Anyway, I feel too that they're like from different worlds. And that he's gone through like a lot of mental, emotional turmoil, like this gray cloud. And then she appears and it's like, well, what do I do with this? You know? But he wants to interact with her, but she seems like, you know how they're like different. He might even not have like a perfect understanding of like what women are truly, like what's their purpose and like what do I even do with you, like how do I manage this, but it's like super grounded, capable energy. And she's like gesturing towards this mountain. It's like, look, like I can show you the world. Like I have you know, fertility and you know, the cycles of life like including the energies of, like, I guess sexual energies or temptation. Like it's not just within her, it's around her. It's around her creations. Like her creations attract a lot of attention, like sexual or like interest attention, I feel. And his thing is like more simple. It's like, well, I have this mature, well, I don't know how mature it is, this tree, and you kind of, I'm not going to call it a sapling, but it's like, you know, not a thick trunk. uh, and it's like I feel like they've just met, like, because on the ground, like nothing really has grown yet. They've just arrived to start creating together. And it's divinely guided. It's the figure above. And I feel like the feminine is able to, even though like the snake is whispering in her ear, she's able to go like, yeah, I hear you, you know, but she makes up her own mind in the end. So it's not like driving her choices. And because she's looking up and he's looking down, she's the one who's channeling like the spiritual messages down to earth. And he's more just like looking at like TCB, you know, taking care of business. And he's a bit like willfully blind to the spiritual world. I'm just picking up about a certain relationship. I mean, keep in mind this is like a public reading that like there will be some relevance for everybody, but there might be some exact details that might resonate more with some. And it's the number 6, and we also have we have another 6 here, the 6 of Pentacles. I'm just gonna I'll just go through these other golden tarots just like. So there was this group of 3 cards that came together. So I feel that the masculine went through this period of disappointment and focusing on like what is all like messed up romantically, or, you know, things that are lacking or wasted time, wasted effort. But then there's like these 2 cups behind him. So it's like, just turn around and enjoy what's here, what's offered, what's still standing. And then it's taking him some, like, because he's a hardworking person and often wearing like the clothes of like you could say like a uniform, someone who gets their hands dirty to some degree, but who's skillful. And it's easy for them in their almost like tired state of like always, it's like that saying, like, ask a busy person if you want to get something done. So it's like they're tired and used to working a lot, and it's not a big deal for them to like open the jaws of the lion, like to show their strength over situations and to tame elements in their life that might have wanted to like run rampant or like attack. So they're not going to be able to attack what he wants to create, which is this new love opportunity that's divinely guided. I feel too that the habit of like offering, like verbally offering only a little bit to the feminine, or like if it's like a new feminine, it's actually gonna last longer than they think. Because it's like divinely guided and awesome and overflowing with love. So why would you want to curtail that in any way? You know, especially in light of the fact that like there's been trial and error in relationships and things, you know, many efforts haven't worked out. So if something's like really solid and standing up, like, you know, why would you want to not do that? And yeah, and it may seem like a little bit of work to like come down from the castle and, you know, go up to the line and go like, hey, like cut it out. They're capable of doing it, and they have the motivation that's divinely guided. Because like sometimes you can go through life just kind of sleepwalking, and then you get like a jolt of like extra motivation to do something or actually like fulfill it or like pursue someone for a relationship. And so there's that extra effort that's being acknowledged right now. And that even if they were really tired from work, or they're just like, they somehow find the strength to like tame these aspects of themselves, or tame the karmic people in their lives who are like wasting their time or teaching them hard lessons, and that they no longer want to engage in. So it's like, you know, sit your hindquarters down. I really don't want to swear in my videos. All right. I'm sorry. It's like using my voice. My voice doesn't want to be used, I think. All right. So then we have this sequence from the Mother Piece deck. We have the Lovers again. That's pretty heavy duty to have it twice. It makes me like on an inside level, like subconscious, I guess. It makes me kind of like misty-eyed, but it's not it's not happening like right now in this hologram we call May 23rd, 2019. Okay. So we have the Lovers, we have the Wheel of Fortune, the Priestess of Cups, and the Shaman of Wands. So we have like a really passionate man and a very sensual, loving woman. In my head, I'm hearing Marvin Gaye. Let's get it on. And basically, that's what that's all about. And it's time. It's like, you know, the universe has pushed things along to be like, okay, like you've waited long enough, or like they're making a shift so that this can happen to these people who are definitely ready for something or other that involves being in love and coming together, maybe even in some kind of marriage situation, you know, down the road, a piece, maybe in a couple years, or I don't know, something possible. But I do feel when I look at this card, I feel like the family members of each will take issue with this coupling, because they all have like ideas about how they want their world decorated and what each character should be doing in order to preserve their own like selfish peace of mind and reputation and comfort, whatever. And sometimes that means being controlling to the people you love, like so-called. So I feel like these sort of Greek characters on the Cubs, are they Roman or Greek? Anyway, one or the other. my my knowledge of ancient ceramics is not on point right now. Okay, so I'm gonna go with Roman. All right, so yeah, so you know how like, well, in Greek mythology and stuff, the gods and like the various like heroes and heroines and etc. Like it's a bit like a soap opera, and it's a bit like that for us too in our lives. And so, like, if two people might fall in love, but then you have like the stepmother character or like the greedy uncle or the the ex-partner, all these various people that can come in and like wreak havoc and have opinions on this coupling. So I would just say like heads up, drama ahead, like bumpy road ahead, for that stuff. But you can also just be like, oh my gosh, like shut up to those people, because it's not their life. Like, maybe they're not right about wanting. Maybe they're not right about their maybe their image of like how their life should be and how everyone else should act around them isn't truly like correct or in line with like spiritual wisdom. And like when you operate your life from a place of awareness of like connection with your intuition and like the highest good, then everyone, like let's say everybody was in tune with their highest good and made like action that like matched up with that, we'd all just be like doing the right thing and no one would be in conflict, or if they were, it would be very brief, and then they'd be doing like what they ought to. So who's to say like things should look like a certain way? Because if that's coming from fear, vanity, reputation kind of concerns, that's not information from your highest good. So you can't like really qualify that too heavily as having like a lot of purpose. It's having ego deaths, and some people talk about it like, oh, when you're on your knees you look up or whatever. Like you don't have to get yourself into that state where you have nothing, or you're you're bottoming out to be able to listen to like source, or like listen to God. Like you can do it now. Save yourself and everybody else some time and trouble, right? I mean, it's like missing one of your five senses. It's easy. It's a bit easier if you can hear or if you can see or what. Why would you want to exclude your so-called like sixth sense? Which is like highly informative and helpful. So yeah, anyway, so this is pretty this is pretty This is like a really heavy duty reading, actually, because we got this like passionate, ready, like pretty steamy situation with these two, and then partnership despite like the voices of uh, disapproval. I had a better word in my that I was trying to get out of my brain files there. And it's time because the universe is like, okay, we're gonna go from this old picture to this one. There's no going back to the old. Things are shifting. So that's like pretty exciting. And then we have these two other cards left. I can sense like some viewers like I was sensing the other day, like I have a critical mindset, but maybe that just exists in any video that anyone's doing, and I shouldn't worry about it too much. But try not to perceive this reading like from so much of a logical or nitpicky standpoint, and try to feel the energies also, because besides doing the reading, like us spending time together like this is sending another form of energy that's beneficial. Okay. So we have like the Hermit and Six of Pentacles. Like the Hermit can be a Virgo, like I'm a Virgo. But it can also just mean, I'm just gonna look up the Six of Pentacles to be like 100% about this. This book drives me nuts. Okay. I'm gonna go on this trip soon, and I think on this trip I'm gonna make my own book finally, so that I'm never having to experience page flipping again. Okay. But like I really like have a lot of respect for this Hermetic tarot deck, so I don't want to like pretend I know everything about every card when I don't quite yet. Success and gain in material undertakings, power, influence, rank, nobility, rule over people, fortunate, successful, just, and liberal. Okay, so with these two together, like the time that has been spent alone, figuring out what you want and growing something you want, and being open to like spiritual awareness and looking at what was tempting you or like distracting you, and also also making peace with your like sexual energies or like your passion energy, and also like taking into consideration like what you want to grow in life, taking that time away from others has given you this success now, and it's made the masculine seem more attractive, more successful, more capable to the feminine. That's what I'm saying, like value your space out time, value your time alone. You're doing important work. It's like the gestation period of a baby is 9 months. They spend 9 months in darkness, like creating, like being created, and then you're born. It's like pretty significant. It's not like, yes, it happens in darkness, in silence, in isolation, but then you have new life. And Yeah. This reading is like really kind of affecting my emotions a lot, which is like kind of nice in a way. Yeah, so the energies from the beginning of the reading, like were previous, like a previous partner, or like could be, there could be like two divine masculines on the scene now. One who's kind of who waited too long is gonna miss out, and one that just came in who's maybe not as spiritually connected as the previous one. Just gonna look at this Lover's card for one more second. Yeah, I feel like the masculine, like, it's kind of like that feeling when you're gonna jump into a lake and you're not quite sure how cold it's gonna be. And in Canada, like, that lake's gonna be cold. So I know that feeling. So it's kind of like he wants to jump in. He doesn't really know, like, what exactly is going to happen. But he's ready to jump anyway and take a risk. And that's pretty romantic, if you ask me. Because, like, he's also, like, leaning forward. Like, he's going to take a step towards her. And so I feel like he's also willing to make efforts, like, maybe more than her. Because she seems pretty happy, like, where she is. But he's moving towards her, I feel. And he's going to make gestures of commitment. Well, that's pretty different than every single day since the eclipse in 2016. So that's like pretty cool. Yeah, I'm kind of speechless at this point. Well, if anybody wants my help with some distance healing or like psychic advice, you can contact me through the information I have in the box below. I really don't know what to say. It's like, yeah, I'm not gonna go too deep into that. But I hope you enjoyed the reading, and I hope let me send you guys like a little bit of good energy first before I close, because I feel like the majority of people are asking for that on a soul level. Yeah, so I feel like the message is like, for you guys, don't get like too wrapped up in like every aspect of what's being broadcast in the news that's like making you scared or discouraged. Like, the real 24-hour news channel is like your inner guidance, and that's more important to watch and listen to. And you can sort of see what's happening in the world on a physical level, like the result of what people have been manifesting and in their minds and their dream space, and not to feel that it's something that you can't escape, because if you spend time in your imagination, which is sort of like a workshop for what you want to create, if you do beautiful things in that space, and uh, your life will transform in positive ways. Don't feel like you have a lack of control there. And when I say control, like I want you to remember too that you're working in partnership with the universe. So you can like kind of place your order. And then you have to like let your best friend, the universe, bring it in their way that is sometimes funny or surprising. And then be grateful when it happens. Don't be surprised if good things happen to you that you wanted. Don't be surprised if someone shows up like a total amalgamation of like everything you wanted, you know? Like get into the feeling of acceptance, like the breath, like you breathe out, like you make your wishes known and then you take in what is being given to you. Yeah. Okay. All right. I hope you guys have a nice day. Bye.